Lesson 10. A survey of genius by Hans Eysenck, a well-known professor at the Institute of Psychiatry in London, examined the nature of creativity in the world of music. Among his findings was the fact that only around 250 classical composers have their music played today. But half of all performances are accounted for by the work of just 16 composers. This figure underlines the common sense observation that people who produce great and enduring works of art, or who make significant breakthroughs in science and philosophy, are few and far between. So what is it that separates creative people from ordinary people? This question is often addressed by psychologists eager to unearth the seeds of creativity. But like the search for intelligence, their quest can be criticized on the grounds that there may be more than one, or more than a few, basic types of creativity that require very different types of analysis. The famous Victorian Sir Francis Galton argued that genius was a matter of heredity and believed that the best families sending their children to the best schools were bound to produce the best, most creative brains. Galton's elitism, he used his own family tree as evidence, has been proved to be groundless. Genius does not run in families, but rather surfaces in the unlikeliest of places. Or, to paraphrase Shakespeare, whose own family was undistinguished, genius is not of genius born. This point was emphasized by E.T. Bell in his book, Men of Mathematics. Bell examined the family background of 28 of the world's greatest mathematicians and found little evidence of inherited ability. You can breed champion racehorses, but it seems that you can't breed composers, writers, painters, scientists, or mathematicians of genius. Are creativity and genius simply aspects of intelligence? The answer, again, appears to be no. Psychologists who study creativity agree that one has to be reasonably clever to be a genius, but simply being clever is not enough. There are many thousands of people worldwide who have IQ scores of at least 150, but show little sign of creative thought. Indeed, above a relatively low minimum score, there is little relationship between IQ and achievement. And many individuals now recognized as geniuses were only average academic achievers. Creativity, it would seem, relies on a different cognitive factor than does intelligence. A peculiar phenomenon known as incubation gives some clues to the characteristics of the creative process. When faced with a new problem, the creative individual typically approaches it from a number of angles. But if a solution is not forthcoming, he or she temporarily puts aside the problem. A surprising number of gifted people report that often this is when the solution emerges, as though it were incubating in their unconscious while they were daydreaming, playing cards, or visiting friends. It has been suggested that other, apparently trivial, activities provide the creative mind with fresh stimulation that can lead to an entirely new approach to the problem, an approach that yields the correct solution. True geniuses are also marked out by their great motivation. Unlike the majority of people, they do not rely on the normal goals such as money or recognition, by their equals. Rather, they find the work rewarding in itself. This is just as well, because the work of geniuses frequently overturns orthodox thinking and established theories. And for this reason, a work of genius may be ignored or ridiculed by the intellectual establishment, and its achievement recognized and praised only much later.